Welcome to the Soccer Down Here weekly check-in on USL League One. I'm Jason Longshore. Midweek action to recap. We'll take a look at the table. We'll look ahead to a packed calendar for the weekend in USL League One, and you'll get a chance to hear from Union Omaha's captain, Ferrety Sousa. Let's start with the midweek action. Greenville Triumph, that was your first game of the evening last night. The Triumph ended up winning 2-1 against their new rivals, North Carolina FC. Didn't look like that was going to be the case early on. JT Kamara opened the scoring for NCFC in the 11th minute. Don Smart on an assist from Marios Lomas in the 37th equalized. 48th minute, it was Marios Lomas who converted to give the home team, Greenville, the lead 2-1. Now, they did have to sweat this out. Alex Morel picked up a second yellow, earned a red card in the 65th minute, but the Triumph were able to hold on, get things done, and get a 2-1 win on the books. In the other game of the evening, Fort Lauderdale and Toronto down at Drive Pink Stadium, it was a back-and-forth kind of topsy-turvy event, with Fort Lauderdale taking the early lead through Vinton Evans. Toronto equalized in first half stoppage time through Garrett McLaughlin. Sean Hundle gave the lead back to Fort Lauderdale in the 69th minute. And then Jaden Nelson of Toronto FC, 81st minute equalizer, and that ended up making it 2-2. That's how the match finished. Let's take a look at the table. Union Omaha in the lead coming into the weekend, 17 points through 8 matches. Greenville only 1 point behind, and they have a game in hand, 16 points, 7 matches. Fort Lauderdale's played the most games in the division with 11. They have 14 points to show for that. Chattanooga Red Wolves, they've played the least number of games in the division alongside North Carolina FC, and they're on 13 points. The Red Wolves have won 3 of their last 4. South Georgia Tormenta has won 3 in a row. It's been a resurgence for Tormenta. They're on 12 points through 10. Forward Madison is in the final playoff spot, also on 12 points, but through 7 matches. It has been 3 games since the Flamingos have had a win. Outside of the playoff picture, Richmond Kickers on 11 points through 8. North Texas SC on 10 points through 7. FC Tucson, 8 points through 7. New England Revolution, 7 points through 7. They've lost back-to-back. Toronto FC, 7 points through 8. And North Carolina FC, only 1 point through 6. They have lost 3 in a row. Union Omaha, Los Bujos are at the top of the table. Let's hear a little bit about how they got there, and let's hear a little bit about how Ferrety Sousa got there in our weekly interview. Here with Ferrety Sousa of Union Omaha. Ferrety, it was a big weekend for you guys. You got to play in front of a huge crowd, top of the table, back-to-back wins. What's the mentality of this Union Omaha team right now?
Well, the mentality is just picking off where we left off last year. I think most of the guys are still have a taste in their mouth about not being able to play in the final. And we just know that we just have to be focused all year this year just to get back into it again.
Yeah, is there a sense of unfinished business with the way that 2020 ended? You guys were ready to play Greenville in that final that never happened.
Oh, yeah, very much so. I mean, just with the COVID and everything, it was a hectic year, and we just wanted to, get back where the club initiated to start the league, and just try to get back into it. So very much so unfinished business there.
How special was it for you? I mean, you joined the team when the club's getting started ahead of 2020, and I want to get into that process with you in a second, but such a huge crowd, a record crowd this weekend. I mean, we kind of take this stuff for granted. You've played in big crowds in your career before, but the first time a record-setting crowd in Omaha, how special was it this weekend?
Oh, it was very special, especially to do it in front of your home crowd. It's a great feeling because we're a new club in Omaha, and to have so many people support us is very wonderful in a small town like this, and we really appreciate all that. So that's a big up plus there.
What was that process like for you, coming off of your time in Atlanta with Las Vegas, and then making the decision to join Union Omaha in League One as they were getting started? What sold you on going to Omaha?
Well, Jay Mims, he was very open about what the process was in Omaha, and he wanted me to be a part of it. And I thought that would have been a great giving point for the guys coming into the league.
You guys have been kind of a model franchise in League One. I think for a lot of people who tune into League One, whether they're MLS fans, USL Championship fans, fans of the world around the game, they're really surprised at the level. And I've been blown away at how many young players are coming through in League One, but also how many established pros are in League One. Have you been surprised by the level around the league?
Oh yeah, for sure. The younger crowd, they're more ambitious. They want it a lot more, and it's just a new generation of football. So definitely, everybody's growing with the sport, and it shows. A lot of young guys now are playing abroad, and this is where it starts.
Greg Hurst has been a star for you guys. He is in the Golden Boot race this year, had a big weekend. How important is Hurst in getting him going to Omaha's attack?
Oh, he was a big asset to what we needed. If you look at our team, we're a go team, and Greg is a go type of player as well. So he didn't take too long for him to mesh with the boys, and he integrated himself well.
Tell me a little bit about that mentality of being a go team. You know, you as a captain of this group, leading them in maybe a little bit different role in your career. How do you establish that mentality throughout the squad?
It's just a thing that we're all on the same page. A great bunch of guys, and we just have a nice little chemistry. I think with the COVID last year, it really helped us because we were around each other mostly every day, and we got to know each other a little bit better, and that led onto the field.
Yeah, I've heard players and teams talk about that. As crazy as 2020 was, with all of the different things from a protocol perspective and just figuring out how to live during a pandemic, it has brought some teams together. Do you think that is carrying over to today and helps you guys when you get into tough spots and matches?
Oh yes, for sure, for sure. I mean, after people got through the pandemic, it seems like we could get through everything just with a little help, and for sure, shows on the field big time. Shows how everybody's ready to step up and how everybody's willing to take their chance when they have their moment.
Absolutely. And I think we're all still kind of figuring out what it looks like, but hopefully, a big crowd in Omaha is a sign of things getting back to normal a little bit. I want to go back to your career a little bit because I've known you for quite a while. You came to Atlanta with Eric Winalda and the Silverbacks, and you coached at Soccer in the Streets. I want to start with Eric, as somebody who, has brought you in multiple times in his career. What was the relationship like when you first met Eric, and how important has he been in your career?
Eric, he's the same old Eric since he played for the national team. So he's a very open guy, and you just take him as he comes. And he's been a big part of my career because as soon as he brought me in, he trusted me, and kind of you scratch my back, I scratch your back type of thing. And it was a great feeling to play for somebody like Winalda. He has a lot of knowledge about the game, and he just lets you be free on the field. So that helped us out big time there. And I don't know if you know his story about how he came to Atlanta with winning the Open Cup, but that just shows what kind of players he likes to bring together and give a second chance to.
I'm glad you mentioned the Open Cup because that was one of the highlights of Eric's time in Atlanta, one of the highlights of your time in Atlanta. We were talking about it on the show yesterday, the anniversary of the win over Real Salt Lake. That was a special run, and you guys got to the quarterfinals before Atlanta United won the Open Cup. It's the furthest a Georgia team has ever been. What are some of the memories for you of that time here with the Silverbacks in Atlanta?
For sure, one of the best times in the Silverbacks was getting through all of the stages of Open Cup, being able to play big teams and being able to beat them, like you mentioned in Colorado, with things not going our way, but we're still being able to win. those were some of the big memories that we had there, and being able to host the soccer bowl in Atlanta. That was a big step for the club there, and I was just happy to be part of it.
Yeah, being part of such a huge event, Marco Senna with a Golasso to beat you guys in the
Yeah.
Cosmos, and it, as much as it hurt at the time watching that, it's got to feel kind of special to be on the field with talent like that and carry that forward in your career.
Oh yeah. Especially being as young as I was, we were looking up to players like that, and just to witness it with your own eyes was beautiful. And, like I said, it just kept the dream alive.
As a captain now, are there things from that time that you reflect on and pass on to the young guys coming through your team now?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just trying to keep like the same routines that we had when I was a rookie. Um, the rookie duties was a little bit harder for us when we were younger, but just trying to bring that stuff into the locker room now. Just saying that they have to respect the locker room and go through their phases. And just be able to take the small things of being a pro and go on long term with it.
Now, one of the other things that people might not know about you is during your time here in Atlanta, you coached with Soccer in the Streets and you gave back to kids who were in need and kids who maybe didn't have an opportunity to play organized soccer, needed mentors. How important was it for you to take that time to give back?
Oh, I mean, I took that very, very religiously, and very, I took pride in doing that, because a lot of people just didn't have the opportunity to go play soccer, and to be one of the guys to come and bring back soccer to those guys and know that there is professional soccer around here and that could be an outlet for you was just an amazing thing for those guys. And just to see those guys really actually love the game and coming out to Atlanta United games and Silverbacks games were, just a change for those guys. And I really enjoyed my time there. And big shout out to Abdul and Ricardo Montoya for giving me the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, it's huge. And talking to some of those kids after the fact, like getting the ability to get coached by a professional, it changes a kid's perspective. It changes their life and opens up doors. So thank you for
sure.
Thank you for being part of that and helping to grow the game.
No problem, man. Thank you guys for letting me be part of it.
It was a special time. Soccer in the Streets continues to grow. Union Omaha growing in a big way. Excited for all your success, Ferrety, and hope there's a lot more coming, including success in USL League One this year. Thanks for the time.
Thank you so much, Jason.
Fun to catch up with Ferrety Sousa, an old friend from his time here in Atlanta. Let's look at the weekend schedule in USL League One. The Richmond Kickers will kick things off at 6:30, hosting Union Omaha on Saturday evening at City Stadium. Toronto FC2 hosting Fort Lauderdale at 7 on Saturday at Osceola Heritage Park in Central Florida. Forward Madison at Breese Stevens Field hosting New England Revolution 2 at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. South Georgia Tormenta hosting their rivals, Greenville Triumph, at 8 o'clock at Irk Russell Park. 8:30, Globe Life Park is the destination for North Texas SC and FC Tucson. And then Sunday, it's the Chattanooga Red Wolves hosting North Carolina FC at 7 p.m. All of those games are available on ESPN+. Saturday's the busiest day of the League One schedule. You've got the ability to kind of swing from game to game and keep an eye on everything in League One. A couple of things to know coming into that potential viewing party of League One action. Two very strong defenses meet in Richmond with the Kickers and with Union Omaha. Doesn't mean it'll be low scoring, but these two teams' defenses have led the way. There's only 4 teams that are conceding less than 1 goal per game on average. Richmond and Omaha are 2 of the 4. Now, Omaha's been scoring goals here lately. Richmond scored 3 in their last home game. It feels like both are starting to come together as we get to this point in the season. Richmond has bounced back after a slow start. They've only lost 1 of their last 5, while Omaha has won back-to-back, and they had their loss to Madison. They've bounced back with 3 straight results, haven't lost since then. That's their only loss of the season. Feels like both are getting strong, and for the Kickers at home hosting the league-leading Bujos, it feels like the Kickers really need this 3 points. Still plenty of soccer to play in League One, but it's a little more meaningful for the Kickers at home. We'll see if they can get it done. Tormenta with their winning streak, and in getting Greenville coming to town, that is definitely a game to keep an eye on at Irk Russell Park. They've won 3 games in this winning streak in a row by 1-0 scorelines. They haven't conceded in 278 minutes. Now, Greenville has only been held scoreless 1 time in 7 this year, but these 2, it's been very tough throughout their history. Greenville beat Tormenta 1-0 earlier this season in their first strike. It was a goal from Marios Lomas, but Tormenta's a very different team. These 2 teams met in the first game in USL League One history back in 2019. They've been tied together ever since. Greenville has had more success. Tormenta wants that success. The moves they've made have kind of pushed them into that direction. 3 straight wins. Can they keep that streak going against Greenville Triumph? It's going to be a fun one to watch from Irk Russell Park on Saturday night. Now, the Red Wolves in Chattanooga are another team that you definitely need to keep an eye on. They have been the cardiac Red Wolves this season. Juan Galindrez scored in the 89th minute last weekend to get the win over FC Tucson. 3rd time already this season that Chattanooga has found a winner in the 84th minute or less. Commentator Mark Schoenster's calling them the cardiac Red Wolves. It definitely fits. I can buy into that. They get North Carolina FC coming to town this season. Now, North Carolina FC has struggled this year. Maybe Chattanooga won't need to leave it late. They have been, points per game, the second best team in the table behind Greenville. Chattanooga is getting 2.17 points per game. They've got some games in hand over the teams ahead of them. This feels like a game that they can pick up some of those points and climb up the table. North Carolina FC, we keep waiting for them to get it together and for them to jump up. They haven't been able to do that just yet. I'm not sure if facing a strong Red Wolves team is going to end up being the way that happens. We will have a recap next week on all of this. Hopefully we'll have a guest for you as well. Thanks to all the teams in League One who have been so supportive of us knocking these out week to week. Hopefully you're enjoying them. Hopefully they're a guide for you as you're watching games on ESPN Plus on the weekends and during the midweeks. Of teams maybe you didn't know about, some stories around the league that are helping you get hooked in to what's going on in League One a little bit more. If there's some stories around the league you'd like for us to cover, please give us a heads up. Let us know on Twitter at @SoccerDownHere. You can always follow me at Longshoe. Let me know if there's any stories you'd like for us to get deeper into in USL League One. But until next week, there can be only one!